Okay, so welcome back. Here we are, LeiLani Cauthen. We're in Nashville. And we're going to be sharing some interesting things. We're going to start with this data point from our national survey. You guys can get to see the whole national survey right now. But the number one thing that teachers spend their most time on is class management and discipline. Not the best use of these people who went to college for 86 years to be certified, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So let's talk about that first. Let's kick this off, right? So first I want to make sure everybody knows who you people are up here. These are the smartest people in the world. Let's just start off with that. So we've got Greg Bagby, Coordinator of Instructional Technology, Hamilton County Schools.
Exactly.
That's you.
That's me.
Woo! Down by Chattanooga. I know. We like this guy. Okay, so and then Dr. Robyn Beard, Principal, Alex Green Design, Technology Magnet from Metro Nashville Public Schools, Metro Nashville. And then we've got Claire Williams McGee, District Lead STEAM Coach.
Ooh.
Metro Nashville Public Schools, and also one of the smartest people I know. So we're happy to have them with us today.
Expand your circle.
Yeah, we're expanding your
This
circle.
is my
We're expanding my friend.
Wow.
Woo! Okay, so here we are.
Don't you
Did I miss something?
Yeah, I said you need to expand your circle.
Yeah, I need to expand my circle. Well, I know people. I know people.
She's picking on me.
Is she picking on you?
Picking on her. You said she was the smartest person you knew. So I was saying you need to expand your circle.
Didn't I say one of that? Didn't I qualify that just a little bit? Just a little
I
bit?
don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It'll be okay.
Oh, there you go, Claire. You've just been elevated. It's like a major thing. Okay, so let's just carry on. So we started talking about like what teachers spend time on. It's changed a lot.
Oh yeah.
So let's go around the horn. Let's just talk about that first of all, because I don't think they're hired to do that as much as they do. We really want them to be teaching, especially since we have so few of them now.
Right.
We're not very efficient about it. Robyn, you want to go first?
Talk about classroom management and discipline, how much time they spend on it, which is excessive. I mean, it's a different day and time. The students that we get, you know how we say they send their best. Parents are sending the best they have at home, but they're really heavily influenced by society. A lot of entitlement, a lot of just not understanding structures that are put in place in the traditional school setting. But one thing I've noticed, it's so funny because I swivel videos, I swivel lessons so that I can analyze them. And I saw a teacher and she was constantly redirecting and chastising and, telling kids, don't do that and don't do this. And some of it was unnecessary. Some of it was unnecessary. Some of it was, had she let the process play itself out, it was students being engaged. But sometimes engagement looks like chaos. And if a teacher is in front of the class and it starts looking chaotic, we want to shut that down because I don't have control over my classroom. And so sometimes some of that classroom management and discipline starts to kind of get blurred because teachers are wanting to maintain their level of control. So that's what I'm noticing. Yes, we do have lots of mental health issues that teachers are not equipped to deal with. We have lots of academic deficits that teachers are also not necessarily equipped to deal with. If you're, trying to teach third grade and you have a student on the kindergarten level, you don't necessarily know the strategies to teach that child.
Yeah.
And so then what happens is you're frustrated because you don't know how to address that child. The child is frustrated because he's not learning the content in the classroom. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. It can be, partially on the teacher for just not being equipped and prepared, but then also part of that student for also not being equipped and prepared.
Yeah, and I'm gonna blame somebody else, and that is the structure of the system. The structure of the system is built to normalize you by age.
Yes.
It's like the built-in inequity of that is atrocious. And we particularly can't be doing that now because we have all the immigration and they're all coming in, like the other young man said today, like coming in, never been to school in their lives, already in second grade.
Yep.
Yeah, we got issues. So what are your comments on the same topic, Claire?
Well, honestly, it is that chaos theory there of chaos is happening. Some chaos is good, some chaos is bad. But I don't know a single teacher who had more than, 4 or 5 classes in college about how to manage a classroom in their bachelor's degrees.
Some of them had none.
Some of them had none. They come out, you go to college. I remember college. I remember coming out of college and thinking I really did need to have a class on how to fix the copy machine. They're not given a class, and then we take them and we throw them into PD and training when they walk right out the door. It's like, hey, you just spent $50,000 in a 4-year degree. By the way, you don't know everything you need to know. So now we're going to put you in PD for the next 4 years of your life to teach you what we actually need you to know, all the while evaluating you on the fact that you don't know what you don't know. And wow, your class is out of control because, well, you went to early childhood to learn how to teach pre-K, but you accidentally got an endorsement in K through 6, and we needed a 5th grade teacher. So now you're going to come over here and teach 5th grade social studies, but all you trained for was pre-K. Like, there's a myriad of reasons why teachers are spending too much time in classroom management, and no one has trained them, and the honest answer is, and I love my Robyn, but they're not being supported appropriately from the top down, and it's not just a building level issue. It goes all the way to the top. It's not being supported. It's being teach more SEL. I can teach you SEL all day long. It doesn't necessarily do anything but teach you the vocabulary of SEL. It's not, kindergarten teachers no longer have time to have interactive play where children learn to take turns and have some empathy with each other. So of course we have major classroom management issues. We've told teachers now they have to be counselors.
Yep.
We've told them they have to be psychologists, they have to be educators, and they have to be highly qualified from grades K to who knows in one classroom.
It's not a human job.
It's not a human job.
It ceased being a human job. And it's ridiculous that we have humans expecting other humans to be that good. They're not. I'm just telling you. I'm going to call out all the superintendents in the world. You wouldn't be able to do what you're asking them to do now. I'm just saying. Let's make sure this is recording. Stressful.
Roll it back and start over.
Your thoughts?
So I go to thinking, I agree with both of these ladies. Brilliant, thank you. But I also think of the fact, you said the teachers aren't trained to handle that, and the students aren't really trained. They don't know how to do school. And I think back long time ago when I was in school, I guess we were taught to do school. During that kindergarten play day, we figured out, oh yeah, we're going to sit around the table, we're going to play with Play-Doh, we're going to share, we're going to do all this. Students aren't getting that before they come to school.
No, they're little barbarians.
Yes.
I use that word a lot.
Well, I don't call my students barbarians, but, but
Probably not very polite.
I was thinking of back when I was a principal just a few years ago. I would get these students that came to my school, and kindergarten students, and they're all ready to go, but I think about the students that came in and my teachers that I have and how they're supposed to make sure that these students that just arrived in my school on this day are performing equally as well as the students that arrived in the school in the great neighborhood. I wasn't in the best neighborhood. In that great neighborhood that two parents at home working and all the things, and I have single parent moms, which nothing wrong with single parent children, or children being raised by grandparents, or even in foster care. These kids are coming that have never had any ounce of pre-K or anything.
Yeah.
And they come to my school, and I'm supposed to get them to the same level as the kids that are at the schools on the mountain, which are the good schools. And I think the teachers are not equipped to handle these folks that have never had to learn how to do school, whereas I get kids that didn't know their letters, numbers, colors, and their kids come reading. So there was a big disconnect, I think, in what some groups have and some groups don't. That's why we have high-performing schools, high-performing students, and then we have these kids that are already behind before they even started school. And that's the teacher who's spending all the time on discipline, all the time on classroom management. And I think that's part of the issue, because the kids haven't learned and the teachers haven't learned how to deal with it.
Yeah, we're really living in a different age. It's almost like we went kaplooey in terms of all homogeneity and expectations, and we have, quite literally, we have very diverse things happening, right? That's a good thing, but it's also, we're not ready for it. So I think we have a situation right now where I'd like to challenge all the educators that are going to be watching this, and you guys. Somebody needs to build the by grade how to be human boot camp curriculum, right? There should be an intro course when you start kindergarten. This is what's expected of you. Your name as a student and your other name and whatever else you got to claim yourself in. And then your job is to be there, and that's, like da-da-da. By the time you're in middle school, it's like your job is listen to the teacher, do what they say, I mean, come on. I mean, it's horrible we'd have to tell people this. But you're at home, they're at home, they don't even eat dinner together. Everybody's in front of the TV or their iPad or their computer the whole time. So it's like they don't even watch words coming out of mom's or dad's mouth.
Right.
If they have a mom and dad, maybe they're with grandma, right? So like words coming out of your human mouth, what is happening? Right? That's population right now. They're used to their iPads and their iPhones, right? So we really need this boot camp. Do you feel challenged? You going to start a whole thing on that now?
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be great? But then you also got to teach the adults that have to teach the boot camp.
Oh yeah, it's never
how to
ending.
do it. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
a cycle. But I was just thinking about all the different levels of societal norms and listening to you say, we're not eating dinner together. And they're on an iPad earlier, you said since 2.
Yeah.
You've been on an iPad. And then we want to teach you to come into this setting with other human beings and interact and be polite and be whatever. And you've
Yeah.
never even seen that modeled.
You've never been to church. I mean, the huge
Never
portion
been
of
to
the
church.
population has never been to church. They're not used to sitting forward facing with respect an adult with words coming out of their mouth for like an hour. And now they got to do that for like 6.5, 7 hours a day.
So
Wow! What?
While we're making this camp for the parents or the students or whomever, I'm thinking we're doing this, but why do we have to always make the kids conform to what we want? Middle class values and coming into the classroom,
True.
sitting straight, looking at and smiling and doing all the right
Yeah,
things.
true.
I think I'd be terrified if a horde of students just looked at me and smiled and actually attended the entire time. I honestly think I would be terrified.
But that's what we're trying to get them to conform to those norms. But why I'm sorry, I'm asking questions that I should be
No,
asking.
you should be asking.
But why do we have to have them conform to everything that we want? Why can't we both change?
I agree.
Oh, you mean teach adults some flexibility and some growth mindset there, where not everything has to be the way they want it, and they might actually have to compromise with the 5-year-old in the room in order to have a peaceful day.
Well, let's start with the superintendent and go on down.
Hey, I'm going to start with the
You
5-year-old.
have to start higher
it's like-
than that.
Y'all can start higher than that.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with the 5-year-old.
But it's like you said, when we started out, it's like, sometimes adults are trying to run too much control in an age of chaos, and they're not up to date with the facts of mankind today. You know what I'm saying? So you're totally right to say that. Why are we? I come back to this. It's all structure. Everything changed, but schools, and a lot of times the adults in the room, are trying to still do.
The same, yeah.
Let's go another round. Let's talk about that.
Systems and structures? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, we're living in a different age, and everything has changed, and it's a structural issue. It's not just the pedagogy. It's not the kids. Yeah, they're different. It's not the adults. Can't blame the teachers because we've overloaded them.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the structure.
I would say it's societal structures, systems and structures that have made the change that we in education have not adapted to. I think society, for lack of a better term, has gone off the rails in some areas where, and we're allowing it. But then we go to school, oh yeah, you can act crazy out there, you can do this out there, but when we're here, we're going to act like this, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And it's this, well, not a dichotomy, just the whole idea of, the systems and structures of what's going on in the country or in a state or in an area, it's producing exactly what it's supposed to. The problem is, we're thinking that we can change that or we're going to shift that, and we're not given the tools to do that. Or the ability, or the time, or all the other things.
Yeah.
Ability, time
and space.
That.
Yeah. Schools are going to mirror society. And so with all the things that are going on in society and all the, trying to pick my words, like all the things that we accept,
Yeah.
it's gonna leak over into the school. The problem is there is a need. I do believe there's a need for structure and systems just for everything to work.
Yes.
I mean, you just have to have systems and structures in place, but there's not one authoritative figure that says this is what it should look like, and it shouldn't be.
I'm trying to be that. I'm just
I
saying.
would love to be that.
Yeah, we all want to be that. I want to
I would
say.
love to be that. We all do it this way. But it's just not a one way to do it. But again, like we're saying, school is a one way, it's a one-stop shop. Pretty much every school, if you walk into a school right now, you know how to run it. Even if it's my school, his school, her, you know how to run it because school is run a certain way. Society is not. And so that's where we're starting to have conflicts because you're getting different people from different walks of life and different norms and different expectations and different backgrounds. And we're putting them in this little cookie cutter that just doesn't fit for everybody.
Yeah, and I think my biggest problem with that cookie cutter, and then let's come to you too, is that we've been cookie cutter for a long time. We've been built to be cookie cutter. Mm-hmm. You're with your age group whether you're with it or not.
Right.
Right? You might be 2 grades ahead in a different language, your language, and then 2 grades behind in math, and I'm sorry, you're screwed. You got to stick with your age group, and you're going to be, low grades in this and high grades in that. And you're basically labeled that way by your age. Mm-hmm. Like, this is like the stupidest way to evaluate humans ever. I mean, it always was.
The evaluation of the little humans in our building is still messed up. As I was talking to one of the groups, the whole idea of at 9 weeks you have to be at this point and you have to know this and this and this, and then you'll get an A. But if you don't get it that day and you get it the Monday after, oh, I'm sorry, you already got the F for that grade.
Right.
Or, you can't go back. And it's one of those things. I think, well, not that I'm against grades and grading. It's just the way that we do it is kind of not right.
Right.
Claire.
So say going to advocate again for the teachers. So we put a teacher in a classroom with a single skill set and tell her or him, by the way, you're only going to have 20 kids. Don't stress. Now you have 31 because this teacher's out on FMLA for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we've got to split your class. So now you have 31. So not only did you spend all of this time trying to figure out the 9 different levels of the 20 kids that are in your room, but now you have 11 more. And figure that out immediately because you're getting evaluated in 3 days or whatever on how all of this is happening in your room. And we wonder why teachers are quitting because we tell them that they need to manage all of this and do all of this and figure all this out. We don't give them tools or skills or anything to do it with. And if they come up with something on their own, like, hey, I could use, in our district we use Schoology. Hey, I could use Schoology and I could differentiate some ways here. Oh, no, our kids have enough screen time at home. You need to be engaging them face to face. I cannot physically engage 9 different levels at the same time with any form of efficacy. I'm not schizophrenic like that.
Yeah. It's built for one to many, but here, let me get this straight. It's built for one to many, but you better be 1 to 1.
Yep.
And differentiate for every one. And oh, by the way, once you got that figured out, like you did for the 20, and now we're going to give you 10 more midstream, and then when you aren't looking, 10 more. Mm-hmm. Right? We are built for insanity, is what we're saying.
Built for? I think it's a job prerequisite.
Oh yeah. If you're nuts, you're like, yeah. I don't know any other industry that does it this way. Mm-mm. Do you? I don't. And I'm afraid to say it, but we gotta change structure. Is my big thing. We gotta change structure.
Real quick, I was really excited. I know this sounds crazy, that there was a global pandemic because we were going to change the way things are going in schools.
Oh,
was
yes.
that
so excited.
I was so happy about that. I was like, we're going to have tech integration.
Yes,
the only upside of the pandemic.
It really was. Yeah.
We're going to come out 1-to-1 and technology literate.
Didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
Didn't happen. I'm just saying.
That was
a missed opportunity.
Yes, and it wasn't just my district, it was the whole country. Congratulations, Joe.
Yeah, the whole country. But I have to say, though, and we only have like 2 more minutes, but I have to say, I think the reason why is because there was no new structure offered. There was only you're either going to be an online school or you're going to be a physical school with the same 250-year-old manufacturing line pattern, whole group, hour by hour that we've always had. Nobody ran the ball down the middle until that hybrid logistics view came out with use of spatial temporal AI, right, to Uberize the learning and not sacrifice the human teaching. Nobody did that yet. It was actually being invented during the pandemic, and unfortunately not fast enough so that as we were coming out, people were glomming onto it. They just tried to go back to normal, right? So back to normal doesn't work against the current
But back to normal is what people are always going to do when given the opportunity. So where is the carrot? How do you really get into convincing them that when things get hard, I'm not going to fall back into my comfort level and just do everything the way I've always done it? How do you push them out and convince them?
So we ask our kids to experience disequilibrium and
Oh,
productive struggle, but how many of us at the central office are willing to go through that?
Oh, that's a great question.
I know. It's
I'm not central office.
I am. So.
Yeah. No, I think it's just, again, it's a comfort level. It's if we don't have explicit, how is this going to work? Like, think about when we were in the pandemic. Yeah, educators were like, okay with it, but then the home life, people were struggling because they didn't know what to do. So I think it was kind of just go back to the old system. It works. I get to work from 9 to 5 and my child is, is safe somewhere while I continue to do my normal routine. So I think we just got into the routine of things and we don't know how to change that routine yet.
Yes.
I think you have to start from the top down, training the top levels of central office or of a support hub, as we call it here.
Yeah,
They
it's all
need
money.
to be
It's all
trained.
money.
The upper cabinet has to be trained. They have to understand it. They have to feel what that classroom teacher is about to feel when they're put on their ear and they're unbalanced. They have to feel it first because they still have to be human and empathize with everything coming down that stream. We cannot tell a teacher, go do this thing, and not have any clue what they're about to feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it needs to be up here, and these people actually need to be, no offense to all of the people who provide training and get paid lots for it, the people at the top are the ones who need to be trained as trainers because they need to be the experts in order to trickle it down to train everyone all the way down the level.
I agree. We're going to put Michelle on that.
Okay.
And she's former Pentagon anyway,
Oh.
and she knows how to lead, so we're going to put Michelle. You still here?
Where's Michelle?
She
That's
ran
where
away.
it starts.
She ran away. She knew you were going to volunteer.
Well, there you go. I think this has been a fantastic conversation. I think people will get a lot of it, and I think you guys here in Nashville and Chattanooga, you guys are innovative thinkers, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful for what you're doing for the kids, and the fact that you're going to work every day. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. Okay, so let's give them a big round of applause.